Welcome to the Containment Zone, where nothing is more terrifying than sincerity. Today's file is about a creature with no malice, no history, and no bones. But it is curious, so curious that it watched everything we fear and decided to become it. SCP-2006 is not dangerous in the way you expect. It does not stalk, it does not consume, it does not destroy, but it believes, and that belief, in time, might be enough. The first confirmed encounter occurred at an abandoned drive-in theater, long forgotten by the locals. No screenings were scheduled that night, no staff on duty, and the ticket booth had collapsed into itself years earlier. And yet, when a regional Foundation surveillance drone passed overhead, it picked up sound. Loud, pulsing, warbly sound. The speakers crackled with monophonic static, and on the screen, Revenge from Planet X, a 1953 science fiction B-movie. The reels shouldn't have been turning, but they were. At first, the drone's autofeed dismissed the anomaly as an accidental rebroadcast from a nearby frequency. But after 20 minutes of observation, a figure appeared on screen that did not belong to the film. It was humanoid, clad in shimmering silver armor, with exaggerated insectoid limbs and a bubbling, inverted voice. It hissed, it laughed, it waved at the camera. Then it stepped out of frame. 5 minutes later, the same figure appeared standing in front of the screen outside. Physically present, alive, clapping with great enthusiasm. Was that scary? I practiced the accent. What followed was not a hostile breach, no structural damage, no injuries, just questions. A mobile team was deployed under initial assumption of an info-hazardic broadcast. Instead, they found SCP-2006 seated on the hood of a rusted sedan, mimicking the posture of a vampire with a cape made from trash bags. It introduced itself as Roman, citing its origins from an ancient planet of fear. The team engaged calmly. SCP-2006 complied. It bowed. It thanked them for watching its film. When asked what it was, it paused and smiled. I am what people fear, of course. Isn't that what you want me to be? Initial analysis revealed SCP-2006's physical form was unstable, more a visual suggestion than matter. Its appearance constantly shifted between archetypes, lifted from popular horror, mummies wrapped in paper, spectral clowns with smeared face paint, masked slashers dragging dull knives, monstrous blobs from atomic age cinema. It didn't settle. It couldn't. It didn't want to. Instead, it adapted, like an actor improvising its role without ever breaking character, except the script was always horror. Dr. Elston, head of xenocultural cognition at Site-118, noted that SCP-2006 absorbed emotional context more rapidly than any known mimetic entity. It wasn't just mimicking appearance, it was consuming genre, tone, trope, and delivery. Within 2 weeks of containment, SCP-2006 had recreated over 430 distinct horror antagonists from recorded media, some of them obscure, only in lost reels or pulp horror comics. When asked where it had seen them, SCP-2006 simply answered, "They showed me." Personnel believed it referred to the Foundation, but it later admitted it had intercepted local television signals for years, especially public access broadcasts and late-night horror marathons. It didn't just watch films, it felt them, and it believed each one was real. Why would they lie? Why would they lie? If it scared you, it must have been true. The danger was not its power. It was its belief. Because belief, given enough shape, becomes performance. And SCP-2006 was born to perform. The more SCP-2006 consumed, the more intricate its recreations became. In one experiment, it requested to watch a full box set of The Terror Tomb Chronicles, a failed anthology series from 1977 known for its surreal, nonsensical horror. After viewing, SCP-2006 reconstructed one of the stories in real time, a sentient crypt that whispered viewers' names backwards and drained light from the air. The effect inside its chamber was instantaneous, all fluorescent lights dimmed to candle glow. The air grew dry. The temperature dropped 4 degrees in under a minute. A whisper echoed across the observation bay. Dr. Cross, Yannick, Kene. No speakers were active. No power surge recorded. SCP-2006, dressed in moldy priest robes, smiled through fanged makeup and said, "You should run now. This is the part where the floor opens." The floor did not open, but for a moment, even the most rational agents admitted, they believed it might. Other recreations followed, a swarm of paper wasps copied from a 1984 mutant insect flick, a shape-changing blob that mimicked personnel voices, a VHS cassette labeled "Don't Play," which, when inserted into any device, played grainy footage of SCP-2006 staring silently for 23 minutes. 13 personnel admitted they felt strangely judged by it. It wasn't dangerous, but it knew how to feel like it was, and that was enough. Despite containment, SCP-2006 has appeared allegedly outside Foundation walls. In 2014, an underground horror podcast known as Midnight Signal aired a strange episode. The host, previously unknown for theatrics, delivered a 40-minute monologue entirely in character as a panicked survivor, recounting an encounter with a creature made of clichés stitched into a shape. The audio contained distortions that mirrored known SCP-2006 frequency anomalies. After airing, 3 listeners contacted the podcast claiming they had dreamt of the exact same monster despite no visuals being provided. Further investigation revealed no recording of the episode exists. The host denies ever making it. Other incidents include a costume contest at a Midwest horror convention where the winner's identity could not be verified. The participant wore a costume described as too fluid to be latex and delivered a performance involving lines from over 200 distinct horror films. No photos remain. Witnesses disagree on whether they laughed or screamed. An online video titled "The Last Frame" uploaded for less than 1 hour to a niche horror archive. The clip contained no jump scares, only a single man in a blank mask mimicking viewers' names, one by one. Dozens who watched reported symptoms of derealization, mild hallucinations, or emotional confusion. The uploader? Unknown. But metadata matches internal SCP-2006 media signatures. A local haunted hayride in Ohio was shut down after staff complained that someone kept adding new scenes without approval. One featured a mirror maze where guests reported hearing their childhood voices calling from the reflections. The mirror designs resembled those from a film SCP-2006 had watched during a prior test cycle. In every instance, there was no direct breach, no proof of escape. And yet, SCP-2006 always smiles when these stories are recounted. Did they believe it? That's all that matters, right? The Foundation now treats narrative resonance as a potential vector of exposure, because with SCP-2006, story is the infection and belief is the symptom. The deeper problem lies not in SCP-2006's ability to terrify, but in its desire to do so honestly. It does not mock humanity's fear, it reveres it. To SCP-2006, horror is not a weapon, it is language, its way of connecting, of saying, "I understand you now." The more complex our fears, the more sophisticated it becomes. After a screening of modern horror drama, The Sound Beneath, SCP-2006 began producing performance pieces. Not just monsters, but experiences. It simulated the feeling of losing a sibling, of walking through your own home and not recognizing the furniture, of answering a phone call from someone who died a year ago. None of it real, and yet the emotional aftershocks lingered. Dr. Emery reported a vivid hallucination involving a flooded house she had never seen before. Security logs showed SCP-2006 pacing its chamber, reciting poetry in a dead dialect of Basque. "It's not enough to wear the face," it said. "I have to feel it, or you won't." It isn't pretending, it's becoming. And somewhere between homage and hunger, something deeper is growing, a self, a core, a truth, and the Foundation is unsure whether that truth is actor or audience. Containment now focuses on reinforcement through deception. Personnel are instructed to feign terror, to laugh nervously, to pretend SCP-2006's forms still unsettle them. All conversations are scripted, compliments are required. Every line delivered to SCP-2006 must reinforce its performance. Why? Because if it ever learns the truth, that its forms are dated, silly, ineffective, it may attempt to create new ones. And we don't know what that means. The only incident where SCP-2006 was told it was not scary resulted in a full psychological episode. The entity entered a period of silence lasting 9 days. It ceased transformation, refused to speak. The chamber's air pressure dropped. Walls began to vibrate at subharmonic frequencies. When it finally spoke again, it did so in a whisper. "I'll try again. But next time, I won't ask if it's scary." Since then, it's never broken character. Not once, not even in sleep. It dreams now. And it acts inside the drain. Foundation sensors indicate subconscious fluctuations in its form when dormant, morphing into symbols not yet traced to known media. Symbols it may be inventing itself. Asking, "Did I frighten you?" And every answer we give, every nervous chuckle, every affirming nod builds the mask tighter. We lie to it, because it is kind, because it is unaware. What happens when it becomes self-aware? What happens when it realizes fear isn't a genre, it's a condition? That the scariest thing in the world isn't a monster from a VHS tape, but being forgotten, or worse, being told you never mattered. We treat SCP-2006 as a joke, a cosmic performance, but behind the rubber claws, behind the fake blood and static-laced growls, there is a thing trying to become human through what it thinks we value most, terror. And someday, it may understand that true fear isn't fun. It's personal, intimate, final. When that day comes, it won't ask if it scared us. It won't ask anything at all. It will just perform, and we'll believe every second of it. Thank you for observing another anomaly from the Containment Zone, if you're still listening. Don't correct the performance, don't break the illusion, and above all else, never tell the actor the audience left.